Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Aaron here just said he wishes he could punch himself in the head. I was just going to see if he'd actually do it. See, once in a while, here on Living Simply Fun, welcome everyone, for this video rant for 1/7/2015, is Aaron and I can be somewhat humorous.
It might be one of the few things to actually make me feel better right now.
Hit yourself over the head with a brick. You always say that to me.
Yep.
Okay, so we got three.
And just so you know, the reason I'm said that about feeling better and stuff is I gotta do laundry in the morning, which means I gotta get up at 5 a.m. It's already 9 o'clock. That means if I'm not in bed like right now, I won't get enough sleep. But I still gotta walk all the way up to where.
Sorry. I've got up early.
Yawn.
Well,
anyways, I still got to walk all the way up to where we get the quarters, which will take us a half hour for that. Come back, put Moppy's coat on, drop Blizzard off, get my wallet, go over, get an energy drink. I don't necessarily need it, but I'm going to be short sleep, so I'm going to need it. And, I don't know, by the time I get all that home, it's probably going to be like 10:30. Also, I got to end up giving you the bag so that you can pack up your stuff. Then I'm going to have to get the shopping cart set up because I can't carry that bag all the way to the laundromat.
What's really bad is when we go to the laundromat, we usually sit down and have a little
and if you think I could do laundry every day at any time, no, it's part of my disability. I can't stand being in there where there's other people in there. It drives me crazy if it's busy. They open at 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm going to get there at 7 o'clock, and usually no one comes in. About the only people that come in usually is one person.
And then they throw a fit and try to get the manager.
It's usually the Mormons or whatever. The manager likes him. She's met him.
Well, yes. Well, I've heard a lot of people complaining when they go in there. And they're like,
why? Because there's nobody. It's only in the afternoon when you go.
Yes, and I didn't like.
I don't like going in the afternoon, and the people are jerks in the afternoon. I don't want to be in there.
We want to talk about, the laundry thing is worrying him.
So, I go because at that time because it's a problem to me. It causes mental stress, and I can't handle it.
This guy here helps me with mental stress. Okay, so we have 3 topics. First one, I think
2 topics.
3. Well, you're going to handle the one. That wasn't part of the thing. You're going to handle something first, which is Aaron would like to first express one of our viewers. We won't go by name, as he understands about invisible disabilities.
Oh.
Take it away for 1 second.
Well, we've gone on about this all the time. People constantly are sitting there saying, I don't see a disability, there's nothing wrong with you, why don't you work? We beat this conversation like a dead horse because it happens constantly. Heck, even our neighbor downstairs, who's retired, posts all the time about the fact that disabled people are taking advantage of the system and they need to get out and get a real job. We've heard it from all sorts of our commenters on here, constantly saying, there's nothing wrong with you, go out and work, stop freeloading. I can't even handle going to an effing laundry room without getting so nervous I could barely walk. So, how am I going to work with people when I'm kind of a shut-in hermit person? I can get along with a few people once I get to know them, but it's very hard for me to talk to people if I don't know them. I seem to do a great job on the camera, don't I? But isn't the computer an inanimate object? As long as I don't watch my videos, I'm fine. And as long as I don't think about the fact of other people on the other end watching them, I'm fine. I can actually talk my mind. It's one of the few places where I can do so. And usually I feel good about it. But I can't talk my mind in front of another person. I usually sit there all quiet with my head down like, oh, okay. That's nice. I mean, I'm not a talker. I talk to Rita because I've known her 10 years. But, anyways, invisible disabilities, a lot of people have them. Not all disability. And muscular sclerosis you don't see. It's not visible. Spina bifida, unless you're in a wheelchair, you don't see it. I knew a guy who walked just fine who had it. Actually, I knew 2. One I didn't find out about until recently. Now he's forcing himself to work 4 jobs when he can barely walk, apparently to pay child support. But and the woman never loved him in the first place. She married him, acted like she loved him, got pregnant, and divorced him within like a week of getting pregnant. She got pregnant within 3 months of them being married. Isn't that wonderful? It's like, oh, pregnancy with you? Now that's a different story. I'm ready to run and get child support. It's a horrible thing to feel that pressure from people. Heck, even doctors do it. They look at you and you can tell they're looking down at you. They act like they want to help you, but the real truth is they want you off a disability, either because you end up dying from your disability or because of something else or some illness that they refuse to treat because they'll act like there is no illness and it's all in your head. Or B, they're looking at you like you need to get back to work right now. They just don't want to treat you or deal with you. Now that's not saying all doctors. That is making an assumption. Hey, can I finish before people end up looking at me and saying, you're a fucking asshole? Not all doctors are. I'm not saying all doctors are. What I'm saying is that many doctors out there are like that. There might be some good ones out there. I'm not going to generalize and say they all are, but it seems many of them are.
I've had 4 good doctors and 3 bad. 3 bad.
We've known 4 people to this point who were disabled who were going to their doctor and saying, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick. And the doctor kept saying, no, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine.
They ended up dead.
All of a sudden, they end up dead, found on their couch one day. Doctor doesn't know what caused it. Yeah, right. Doctor knew there was something wrong, ran tests, found what was wrong, told them they were fine. That's the truth of the matter.
The government saying to say that to get the population down.
It could be. Medicare could be sitting there saying, "Oh, we'll pay this," and then they don't pay anything, and then they're like, "Oh, you can't pay more, charge more than $20 to a disabled person." They say, "Screw it. The disabled person ain't going to pay that even." So they just don't want you to get any service. So
I pay my bill every month, but my doctor, just so you guys know, doesn't want to do jack diddly crap for me or Aaron.
Yeah, I know. They were supposed to contact her about an eyes, ears, nose, and throat specialist because of the ringing in her ears. It's getting bad enough she can barely hear now. At various times, you have to shout at her and scream in her ear for her to hear you.
And then I emailed one of the caseworkers today. No reply.
Yeah. And
probably she's answering the phone
and
again.
Then she asked for mental counseling because apparently they do it for migrant farm workers and low-income families. But apparently they don't know if they take Medicare. Wait, they do it for migrant farm workers who are illegally here with absolutely zero insurance and low-income families that have nothing but Medicaid. Well, that seems they take Medicaid and Medicaid because a lot of the migrant farm workers are on Medicaid. Go figure.
Anyways, I just wanted to say I'm waiting for referrals, but we might have to wait till next.
Anyways, the other topic we wanted to cover was video games, right?
Yes, video games, and one other thing. It's my turn to rant for a second. Today, I want to share with you, from all of you people, Aaron knew this was coming anyways, it is about light bulbs.
Oh yes, we finally got new ones.
Yes, very nice.
We find that in the state of Washington, one light bulb has a 25-cent tax on it in the state of Washington. Only state to do a tax on a light bulb. If you get a 4-pack, you pay the tax times 4, which is a quarter a piece, $1. It's apparently a disposal or waste tax.
Recycling
they call it a recycling fee. They're not going to recycle these. They're going to end up in the garbage, crushed. But there's apparently mercury in them, and because of that, it's basically like because there's mercury in our dump, we now have to give our garbage workers hazardous duty pay, so we're going to end up increasing all sales $1/4 in tax. So it's just kind of nice.
Don't forget, it's like $50 for a damn mercury tube TV now, minimum.
And you're already paying $5 because of various federal taxes on those spiral light bulbs that probably cost no more than 30 or 40 cents to make. they could probably sell them for $75. So all this tax is lumped on. It's sold at $5.99, and then our state wants even more taxes on top of that. That's just wonderful. You know.
Yeah, and then I go to a place that had some very rare, regular, 100-year old-fashioned type light bulbs. You know, the ones, you know.
Yeah, and we got those for $1.99.
And I got them all set up, you know.
But we had to throw a few out because we found another one that ended up catching on fire. That was the other type that we got from Walmart.
The dollar store.
No, it was dollar store.
Sylvania.
It was called Sunbright.
Sunbright
or something like that. Anyways, these are really, really bright.
They're apparently non-dimming too, but apparently the other one's dim because the first one that was in here that was making it very unbright. The
original ones in here had smoke all over them because somebody used to smoke in these places, and then they didn't clean the walls, they didn't clean the filters, and then they say, oh, you can't smoke in your place. It's like, wait, you didn't paint the place, you didn't change the light bulbs, they're nicotine stained, you want to blame us? That's funny. But anyways, we're not totally concerned about that, you know. Anyways, then the other thing that we were going to talk about was video games.
Yes, for a second. So, me and Aaron were thinking of getting some games, and we were going to help out Miss Angela.
Well, Rita started playing Animal Crossing for the Wii again tonight.
Yes.
And she had me clean up on the DS for her, because it'd been like 2 years, so it was time to dig up all the weeds if you happen to know the game. Which, it's a fairly kiddie game, but it's I guess it's fun. I like the fishing aspect and the bug catching. Go figure that I would.
Fishing for me.
And digging up dinosaur bones and putting the museum together is kind of fun.
DS is going to be really good.
I find putting the museum together a lot of fun. I really don't care for the character interactions. Sometimes it's kind of funny to have the animals insult themselves. I think there was a duck today. I said, "Throw me in the cook pot." When you meet it, it basically comes up to you and it says, "Hi, throw me in the cook pot," and it's like, "Yep, okay, barbecued duck."
Whiskey me, what's up?
Rita likes to make them say things about booze. The DS one saying Blue Label, another one saying Scotch me, whiskey me. You know.
Anyways, the thing about the games is we want to talk
Brooks.
about that. Oh, I like Ezra Brooks. That's a good, tasty little tutor. The bottom line with these games is
go ahead.
Is as Aaron was getting to it, we were kind of disappointed
I never got to
because
That's why I remembered.
The online capabilities have been taken away.
Well, see, this is why I almost interrupted. I realized she was going in the wrong direction. Since people keep saying I'm constantly interrupting her. She wanted me, after getting these, to possibly get a Wii so that she could get me a copy of the game, and then she could visit my town, I could visit her town, we could trade things, etc. She thought about doing it with the DS version as well, and it was like, hey, this is going to be great, we could trade things. Hey, I wonder if that affects Room Factory, too. Maybe that's why I wasn't able, me and Angela never connected on it after we got a Room Factory and everything. Anyways, DS and Wii, apparently almost all of their game support is shut down online, including all the Pokemon games, so you can't trade anymore. You can't do anything with the systems anymore. And it's like, you know, what's the point of it? You get a game, you want to have fun with your friends, you want to play with your friends, and then they shut the servers down. Well, that's no fun. And I understand that there might not be a lot of people playing on the servers anymore, and it might cost money to keep the servers up. But system to systems should still be able to connect. It doesn't make sense to make everything have to go through. And this is one thing I hate also about PS3 and Xbox. For achievements and trophies, how many of those require you to go online and play, and then the company shuts down the server? Now you can no longer get all the trophies. Then why would you want the old game when you should need to get the new game, which is what they're probably trying to do, but some people can't afford the new game. I was just trying to find some help with NBA games, and if anybody has any suggestions for PS3, one of the neighbor kids is playing NBA 2K11 because his family could afford the $1.90 price tag. It's pretty much the only gift he got. And he wanted to be able to play a career. Well, I feel so bad because he's sitting there playing and all he can do is get an F rating. And even though he's covering the ball carrier and he's making shots that are actually good shots, he's pulling up, they're uncontested, nobody in front of him, the ball just misses. Oh, totally. Sometimes just flies out of bounds. It's like, this is horrible. You're trying to build a career and they make you so horrible that you can barely even compete at all. And the only way to get better is to gain points that you have to gain by playing well. And because the kid's autistic, he can't do it. I suppose maybe if he learned all the points to hit the thumbstick right and left and up and down while holding R2, L2, triangle, and square all at the same time while going, he might be able to actually start to score better. But he can't get the score up high enough. He can't meet the goals and he can't score at all. Well, the career mode's broken. It won't play for an autistic child. So I ended up having to go online and ask places, hey, is there any NBA games that you can find? Recommend. Nobody's recommended. I even asked IGA. IGA won't recommend. Geez, is IGA... IGN? IGN. Okay. IGA is a grocery store. IGN's a gaming network. Anyways, they wouldn't even answer, and it makes me wonder if IGN is anti-disabled or anti-autistic. Or do they just don't have time to ask any of their staffers, hey, any basketball game out there that's got a career mode that would be easy enough for an autistic child to play and have fun? I mean, come on, I even recommended they do an article on all the sports, the various sports genres so that they can recommend these out there. Because I want to get the kid a game. His family couldn't afford it. I want to find one that's good enough so I can get him one.
Aaron, I'm sorry to say, but you are completely right.
And
all the Rune Factory games use the Nintendo
down.
Wi-Fi connection, so it's shut down.
Figures. At least you can still play the games. Now, what we're going to find out in future games is I'm noticing on PS4, a lot of the games you get a disc, and you put the disc in, and then everything downloads to your system. And if they ever shut down the server for that, you no longer play your game because it's played online. Online, 100%. They shut down the server, game gone, no more play. That's it.
The Etrian Odyssey series has been scrapped too when it comes to the Wi-Fi connection.
Well, I would figure that all DS games have been then. You have to play 3DS then. So, that's terrible, horrible. At least they should still work on a link cable or something. I mean, this is a major flaw, I think, for game companies to sit there and say, you know what, 5 years from now, no one's going to be playing this. Let's, leave it still open. Find a way to have a server that's got limited usage. I mean, you're not going to have, 100 people on it at a time? So how big of a server do you really need anymore for it? Put it on a small server. Let the small server stay open. I think one of the things that we need to do in this, for the gaming community then, with the game companies, is they need to find a way to utilize servers to the fullest without having to have a 10,000 acre space just for 2 games. Because that's a moron. That shouldn't have to be. But where we are, we know that there's all sorts of servers around here that take up huge amounts of space just for a fairly small program.
Apparently the 3DS and the Wii U is the only ones that's going to be staying,
Yep. So there you have it, And
they say right here for all of you out there, and this is coming from IGN, give it 3 to 5 years and they'll have a new next-gen system out.
Yep. So then all your Wii U games and all your 3DS games are going to be scrapped too. And that really pisses me off. You can't go online with the game, so why are they being sold for $70 still?
Collector's purposes.
I don't care. I'm talking. We were just at GameStop,
Oh, by the way,
Hey.
my buddy is still working and owning it, by the way, after so many years.
So anyway, you mentioned that yesterday in your video blog. Anyways, we went to GameStop, and we're looking around at games and used games where it's just the little tiny piece of plastic
The
for
cartridge.
DS are ranging anywhere from $30 to $90. Pokemon was $45 for a plastic little SIM card. It didn't have the case, didn't have the instruction booklet. You wanted that, it was $75. It's like, wait, this is a regular DS game.
Oh, don't forget.
That wasn't collectors. No collector buys just the SIM card and says, I got it. Let me put... I mean, you might end up building yourself like a plastic... Well, a photo frame or something. And you might end up lining them all up and down across so you have them all visible in one thing, but you're never going to use them again at that point. And I doubt you're going to want to go and buy them used at GameStop, defaced with a marker on the front that says Johnny on it.
I got something
You know.
to say.
Or 181. It's like, what's 181? Guilty Spark? Was that the right number for Halo?
No.
No? It wasn't 181?
No.
It's been a long time since I played Halo, so the numbers seem to fit in my brain.
143 guilty.
143, okay.
Where's the DS? Oh, here it is.
You're looking for...
An example. I want to share an example.
That's
Okay,
Room
Aaron's got
Factory.
room. Yes, okay. Aaron's got the Room Factory in it, right? I want to share something with you. This is a game. Okay. It says patent pending. This is a cartridge. 2 problems with this cartridge, okay? 1, you're renting the game. You're not buying it.
Well, you bought this little piece of plastic. You own this plastic.
I was going to give an example since we're on a video game
Okay.
rant. 2 problems with this cartridge. 1, you rented the game. 2, when the battery goes, there is a way to replace it, but no one knows how except Nintendo, and they do not want you to know how. There's a little teeny weeny battery in it, so technically they made them smaller and thinner like a memory card.
Yeah, it's not like these, where there's a little screw right there, and you can basically just unscrew it and
Put a
and
new
get
one
to
in.
the battery.
Or this.
Yep, this one has a specialized screw, but it's not hard to get a piece to remove that
Exactly.
screw.
See? Point is Nintendo told me in a letter once that the battery life on these are 15 to 20 years.
Yeah,
when they're gone,
that's good.
that's it. But you can't replace them, is what he said.
Well, look at what they just did today. I think it was today. Anyways, it at least hit trending news today on Facebook. Yeah, I'm a Facebooker. And sometimes I follow the trending news. Apparently there is a place that's doing a DOS emulator, and they have all sorts of, like, hundreds of DOS games re-released that are free to play now. And it's like, I wonder if they have some of the games I grew up with. I can't even remember all of them right now, but there's one that's like on the tip of my tongue, and it's like, I wonder if it's over there. It was kind of a Mega Man stylish, but it was also kind of a Tomb Raider-like. And I just can't remember the name of it. But I remember jumping pits and stuff. It reminded me of the original Pitfall.
The point that we're making is the gaming genre and series and systems are changing rapidly to the point that eventually you're going to have less and less likely of hacking and etc. But at the same time, you're not going to own your games outright.
I mean, what was it I just read about recently? Like Madden 15 shut down their server, and that was their most recent game. And it's like, wait, you shut up the server already in anticipation of Madden 2016.
Oh. Me and
Or
Aaron were talking
2015
about
or
something
whatever.
else. Tonight we're talking, right?
It's
And
like-
Aaron was kind of shocked, by the way, when I was reading him the list of games that Nintendo dissolved. We didn't know about Etrian Odyssey or
It's
Room
not
Factory.
that they
But
dissolved them. It's,
no, what I mean is dissolved the Wi-Fi feature. He was very laughing at the profitable market of Pokemon, for example. Wi-Fi is disabled. You can't trade, apparently, with each other anymore.
Yeah, well, that's because they've disabled the Wi-Fi on all games for the systems. It's just their systems are disabled, so... Anyways,
if that's the case, they should lower the price.
Anyways, I gotta get up if you want.
And I need to go with him to do laundry, so...
You don't have to go with me. It's just, I gotta get it
done. I'm getting it. I'm going to. I'll be up early. So anyways, everyone, my rant is, why should I pay 25 cents per light bulb and then pay $8 to $10 for a 4-pack?
And why buy a game $45 that you can't play anymore with your friends at all if you want to?
I mean, yes, the battery life is going to be 20 years, but the game systems aren't going to be around in 20 years, if you get my point. The whole thing about invisible disabilities, I think personally, people look at me and they say, oh, well, she's disabled, no question asked. But other people, they don't say that, so then they ride them hard, and ride them hard, and ride them hard. So, anyways...
Well, look at my dad.
Yeah, well, look at Aaron's dad. Poppy basically doesn't...
My dad said if I ever return home, I got 30 days to find a job or I'm out. And I will not be on disability if I'm at home. So, I can't go home to my dad.
Well, you have a home here.
I mean, that's just horrible. 30 days to find a job, you know?
Hello. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that with you all. I mean,
it's like he doesn't seem to understand yet. He's got a bum arm that he can't even lift over his head, and you know.
So, anyways, everyone, I have to go, and he's got to go. I gotta go. We gotta get ready to go, and then when I get back, I gotta finish my Quran, which I didn't do today. I'm about 10 pages to the next chapter. As you can see, it's a little compact one. I like it. For some of you know, I'm not being Muslim. I'm reading it again so I can understand. By the way, I found 4 discrepancies in it, but I'll talk about that later.
There's no reason for a person not to educate themselves.
Yes, exactly. So,
to be uneducated and say that you know is just being an idiot. And I don't know how many people I sit there and say they know for a fact this or that about the Quran, and it's like, it's not in there. You're lying. It's not. No. You know, and I love how I hear even Muslims say the Quran says, and it's like, no, it doesn't actually. I've actually heard Muslims talk about the 72 virgin thing, and that is not actually in the Quran.
Well, I don't want to continue this, so
yeah.
Please look for future videos. Me and Aaron just found out something before we go, and I'm not giving you all the details. But when we have to take a trip out to the gender-changing doctor, apparently I'm going to have to go to the city twice. Means 2 train trips this year.
Yeah, that's going to suck.
Well, as long as I can get in and out of the hotel and get back on the train, I should be fine. So, but that said, everyone, please add and subscribe. Please post comments.
What's with the uber, fakey feminine voice?
I don't know. Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, feedbacks, and give us your opinions. And we will do more videos in the future. Thank you, and have a nice day. May God bless you, and may God bless me.